We're going to try to make sure that we start on time and end on time. Okay, so we're going to go ahead. Dr. Hill. I know, well, we are actually starting on time, so it's pretty good. So far, so good. So Dr. Hill and Dr. Flores will not be joining us tonight, but we do have a quorum, so yes. So we do have a quorum, so let's go ahead and begin. I open the board meeting. Let's call for the Pledge of Allegiance. Who should we have? Our student board member. I'd be happy to do it. I already called the student, yeah, I already called the student board.
Okay. Place your right hand over your heart. Ready? Begin. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, thank you so much for that. Now for 1.3, adoption of the agenda.
So moved.
Second. Okay. Let's go ahead and vote. One more. Is it me? Not working? Oh, there you go. I have to reach for it. Okay, good. So it passes. Now let's go on to 1.4. I'll be really quick with this one. Today is Nelson Mandela's birthday. And with that, an extraordinary leader, but he also made sure that education was one of those avenues for success. And here's a quote from him. "Education is the most powerful weapon which you can use to change the world." In reality, we do see education as an opportunity. It's one of those avenues of getting families out of poverty, getting our children out of poverty, and that's one of the things that we need to do and ensure quality education, but it's also making sure that we have the funding necessary in order to continue the work that we're doing. So I'm really proud of our school district, the stuff that we're doing. We're setting record numbers in graduation rates, and not just graduation rates, but looking at the A through G, looking at access to higher education, looking at PBIS, looking at restorative justice, so many different avenues, and I'm really proud of our district that we're moving that direction. So in celebration of Nelson Mandela, education is definitely one of those keys. So thank you so much. I will go ahead and transfer it to Dr. Marsden.
Yeah, thank you, Madam Vice President. Just wanted to mention tonight, Board, we have several of as part of our hiring process for our administrators. You recall, not only is it a rigorous hiring process, there's also a rigorous onboarding process, orienting each of our new leaders to all of the district systems that exist, including a lunch meeting with cabinet, coming to a board meeting. So tonight you have in the audience with you, we'll have them stand up and wave when I mention their names, is Lydia Wandry from Hillside, the new vice principal there. And so there she is. You give her, and welcome aboard. Dory Stratton from San Andreas. Sarah McCain from Urbita, our new principal there. Kimber Sargent, new vice principal at Lancashire. Ms. Tremonisha Singer at Pacific. And we just wanted to welcome you tonight as part of your onboarding. So glad you're here, and leadership matters, so thanks so much.
And Dr. Marsden, this is part of the hazing process, is that right?
Not at all,
and
not
kind
at
of a
all.
penance,
This is where hope happens, right? in this
You
room,
have
so.
our condolences for enduring this board tonight, and if you're still gainfully employed at the end of this night, congratulations on your appointment.
Welcome.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Okay, now we're going to move for 2.0, special presentation, 2.1, Family Leadership Institute.
Yes, and so thank you, Ms. Medina. And Board, many times, several of you have asked, as our parents go to significant trainings, you want them to come back. For example, the Underground Railroad, there's a significant investment made for parents and staff members to go, and you like to hear back from people, how'd it go for you? And that's what's happening tonight. We had, we'll be consistent for all major groups who have these major types of events that they attend. And so tonight, we have some members of the community who'll share their experiences and learnings from their recent participation in the Family Leadership Institute. So with that, I think we have, who's our lead? Welcome. Come on down. Fantastic. Glad you're here. See a lot of familiar faces out there tonight. That's
Y
great.
bienvenidos a
Yes.
todos los padres que vinieron a asistir.
Yes, bienvenidos.
Good afternoon, board members and everybody in the room.
Good afternoon.
Thank you for giving us our minutes to present you how it's been helping us with the FLI. And I do have a lot of people that wanted to present, but I told them, let's go and see how many minutes they will give us. Thank you very much.
There you go. Glad you're here.
Good evening, board.
Good evening.
I need a little time to set up.
Thank you for joining us.
I am a visual learner, so I want to show you what I learned. I took the FLI class in January 18, 19, 24th, 25th, and February 1st. This is a picture of Rosa describing how we were supposed to make our board the day of our graduation, February 1st. This is my board. I've never done one of these before. We just use random magazines. I pretty much use Costco magazine. I didn't know what to do. But I do remember Rosa saying very clearly, be careful about the things you do put there because stuff happens, you know? People were handing out cars and houses, and I was like, okay, I'll take one. I've never been anywhere. So I had like pictures of traveling next to the pool and a hotel. I like jewelry. I used to work at a flower shop, so my husband rarely buys me flowers. I was looking for a picture of a family because I don't really have family pictures because I'm usually the one taking a picture with all of us in there, so it's kind of hard to get one of those. My son sells shirts, and we hadn't really done much, and I was hoping for him to make some money. I obviously need good food. Like this says, energy to keep up with everyone. And from what I could get together, you know, it says right here, bring your best STAR plan of action, happy, go make a change. You can get to college. This would be a good time. So that's my board. I went home and put my board on top of the TV. I didn't know where else to put it. You know, brainwashed myself there. February 13, I bought this lovely piece of jewelry. I don't know if you want to stick it there where the jewelry goes. And I thought that was kind of nice. February 14, I got flowers for the first time in a while. And I was just, that's just another picture of my board on top of the TV, and just looking at my board like, wow, okay, that's stuff happening, you know, just thinking about it. And then March 30th, you know, I was one of those lucky parents who was able to go to CAPE, and this was the view from my hotel room at the Hilton, you know, pool right there. for whatever the reason, I wasn't paid the whole thing, so I had to go home, but I didn't want to. So one of the parents invited me to stay at her place, and I also got to stay at the Marriott, and that was the view from there. That day, we went out to eat, and this is my dinner, So I had a lot of fun. I learned a lot. I am very thankful, very grateful for the experience. It was over, and it was time to go home to my everyday thing, driving my kids to 3 different schools. But that Monday, when I got home, I did that in my new car. Not red, but still works. So April 3rd, that was April 3rd. April 8th, my son, who happens to have autism, was invited to be a vendor at the Autism Hero Walk in the Fontana Auto Club Speedway. And this is him at his event, selling, not making that much money, but enough to pay for his military ball ticket and for his yearbook. This one, well, that lovely lady is supposed to represent my daughters, out taking over the world. And this is the little one, who I'm pretty sure will take over the world. May 10th, this is my most recent family picture. That's all of us. At the Army JROTC Awards Assembly, my son was awarded special recognition for outstanding achievement and exceptional leadership ability, a medal. And that was his Mother's Day gift to me. And it was extra special because he was given the award by my former Air Force Junior ROTC instructor, Colonel Costa. So it was really happy experience, moment, whatever you want to call it. We were both excited, really happy. It was awesome. So there I am again at home, watching the Lego Batman movie, staring at my board, just thinking of all the things that have been happening to me. And this picture's like the last one, and it's the hardest one. The Family Leadership Institute, I'm sorry I went Spanish here, se ha convertido en mi familia. It's become my family. Les agradezco todo lo que me han enseñado. My life has been on hold for many years. They're reminding me of who I am. Soy madre, soy líder, soy San Bernardino, y San Bernardino soy yo. My time is now. And I'm gonna make it happen. I wanna thank you for bringing Consuelo to our district. If it wasn't for her and her program and the parents she trained for the parent-to-parent workshops, I don't think I'll be standing here. I was the one I would like for you to bring her back so I can take one of her workshops. This is my last picture. I don't know. You want to read that for me, please? That was...
It's a certificate of completion. The certificate is issued to Catalina Castillo, who has successfully completed SBBC New Student Orientation.
Thank you.
Thank you. Now for a quick review of my board. It's really fast. So I took the FLI for the first time in November 20, 2015. When Consuelo told us to do the vision board, she told us to be careful what you put on the board because it does come true. And this is gonna be the truth that my kids never been to Disneyland, and by April of this year, my kids went to Disneyland. So that's one of the dreams that come true on my board. And the best thing is that when my husband went and asked his boss to give him a time so he could spend with his family, his boss gave him the money to take the kids to Disneyland.
That's great. That's great.
So that was the best part of it. I don't dream to have a house, but to have a family house. I'm fighting with the diabetes, and I'm beating diabetes. And the best part of this one is that I do want a world of the best of San Bernardino. So I put together the district, the teachers, and the community, the parents,
nice.
to be the best San Bernardino ever and making hope happen. So making a formula to get everybody together, and I think we're doing it.
Yes.
It's making hope happen. So my vision is to become Emily too, because I know Emily's always busy, so I like to be busy like her, to do crafts. And my kids, my little one wants to be a fox rider, Sebastian wants to be a SWAT, and Angela wants to be a teacher of teachers. So on her schedule of school, she's going to school to become a teacher. And I keep on telling her, do something else because you don't get paid right. And she's like, I don't care, I want to be a teacher.
Yeah.
So my dreams are coming out true. And I hope everybody else, when they do their board, they know what they're doing because it does come true. So now I would like to introduce you, Rosana.
Thank you so much. Bienvenidos.
Muy buenas tardes, mesa directiva y
Good
a todos
evening.
los presentes.
Buenas tardes.
To the board and to all who are present.
Yo soy Roxana Cervantes,
I am Roxana Cervantes.
soy madre de familia de 2 pequeños,
I am a mom of 2 little ones.
soy voluntaria
I'm
en
also-
ambas escuelas,
I'm also a volunteer at both of their schools,
que es Parkside y Wilson, preescolar de Wilson, ahora ya va a estar también en otra escuela.
Parkside and Wilson Preschool, and now it's going to another school.
He tomado el FLI en 3 diferentes ocasiones
I have taken the FLI in 3 different occasions,
y me considero enamorada del taller.
and I considered in love with this workshop.
Cuando lo tomé por primera vez,
When I took it the first time,
mi traducción de Family Leadership Institute
my translation of Family Leadership Institute
es inspiración.
is inspiration.
Nos toca el corazón,
It touches our hearts.
nos devuelve los sueños.
It brings back our dreams.
Por lo tanto, voy a leerles un pequeño pensamiento que
This is why I'm going to read this, what I was thinking to you
escribí acerca de FLI.
about FLI.
El Instituto de Liderazgo Familiar
The Leadership Institute, the Family Leadership Institute,
ha influido en mí
has influenced me
más que para enseñar, para rescatar los valores que desde pequeña se me han inculcado en el hogar.
more than just teaching, but to rescue the values that were taught to me as a child,
Y que he dejado de lado ante el cambio de ambiente en el que hoy me rodeo.
and that have set aside because of the atmosphere in which I live in and am surrounded by.
Ha sido una herramienta vital para el mejoramiento de mi persona
It has been a vital tool to make my personal life better,
mi familia y mi participación en la educación de mis
my
hijos.
family, and my participation in the education of my kids.
Me ha motivado a involucrarme como madre
It's motivated me to get involved as a mother
tanto en la escuela de mis pequeños como en el distrito mismo.
in the school of my little ones as well as at the district level.
La tolerancia es otro aspecto que el FLI me ha ayudado a reforzar, además del respeto.
Respect and tolerance are things that the FLI has helped me helped me reinforce.
Ya que en estos talleres conocemos diferentes experiencias, sentimientos y procesos para
In
afrontarlos.
these workshops, we learn about different experiences, feelings, and processes of how to confront them.
No puedo dejar de lado la calurosa bienvenida que nos brinda la señora Consuelo Castillo y cada uno de los integrantes de su equipo.
I can't stop thinking about the warm welcome that we receive on behalf of Mrs. Consuelo Castillo and all of the people that work with her.
Que sin lugar a dudas hace sentirnos en familia.
That without a doubt makes us feel like a family.
Por lo tanto, me permito hoy agradecer a la mesa directiva y a todos y cada uno de los que han hecho posible el FLI en nuestra comunidad.
This is why I take the time today to thank you and to the cabinet for allowing this program to come to our community.
El motivo por el que yo hoy estoy aquí es para agradecerles a ustedes.
The reason I am
todos que han
here is
participado.
to thank each one of you and all of those that participated in this program.
Porque todavía no termino. Estoy en camino en ser una mejor persona, una mejor madre y ayudar aún más a mi distrito, a las escuelas de mis hijos y a mi familia.
Because I have not finished. I am on the way to help my district, my families, my communities, of the people of my community.
Y aquí también tengo a mi compañero de vida, a mi esposo,
My husband here, who is my life partner.
que hoy es la primera vez que me acompaña en un
This is
evento
the
del
first
distrito.
time that he ever comes to a district function.
Si se puede parar, ¿está aquí? ¿Se puede parar un momento? Okay, this is the husband. Thank you.
Gracias.
Thank you.
Buenas tardes.
Good
Buenas
evening.
tardes.
Perdón que parece que estoy leyendo, pero no quería que se me olvidaran las
I
cosas.
apologize if you think that I'm reading. I just didn't want to forget things that I wanted to say.
No se preocupe.
Soy Analit Mitre, madre de familia.
I am Annalie Mitre, a mother of family.
Tengo 3 hijos.
I have 3 children.
Estoy aquí para darle las gracias a la mesa directiva
I am here to thank the board
por el taller de la señora Consuelo.
for the workshop that Mrs. Consuelo.
Yo asistí en el año 2016
I attended in 2016.
en la escuela San Bernardino High School
It was held at San Bernardino High School.
y este taller hizo un impacto en mi vida,
And this workshop made an impact in my life,
en mi familia.
in my family's life.
Antes de este taller,
Before this workshop,
solo asistía a las conferencias de maestros.
I would only attend the conferences of my children.
No estaba tan involucrada en las juntas de distrito,
I was not involved in the district meetings.
pero el cambio que tuve en mi familia es enorme.
And the change that I had in my family is huge.
Ahora asisto a las juntas del distrito de DILAC,
Now I attend all the DLAC
al
meetings,
café de padres,
the coffee with the
a
parents.
las juntas, donde haya juntas, ahí voy a
If
estar.
there's a meeting, I am there.
Los talleres que ofrecen las escuelas
The workshops that the schools offer,
para tener herramientas para ayudar a mis hijos
so we may have better tools to help our children
y a otros niños.
and other children.
Hice mi aplicación para ser voluntaria en las
I
escuelas.
filled out my application to become a volunteer in the schools.
Esto fue después de asistir a los talleres.
This was after attending this workshop.
Me hizo tener un sentido de participación.
It changed my, I had a feeling of participation.
Tengo muchos beneficios para mis hijos y la comunidad,
It has a lot of beneficial changes for my children and for the community.
porque algo que aprendí en el taller de la señora Consuelo,
Because one of the things that I learned in Mrs. Consuelo's workshop
servir a otros
is to serve others
sin esperar un beneficio propio.
without waiting for anything in return.
Lo más hermoso del taller para mí,
The most beautiful thing about this workshop,
me ayudó a sanar heridas,
it helped me heal some wounds that I had,
a perdonar,
to forgive,
al mismo tiempo darme cuenta
and at the same time to realize
de mis errores como madre,
of my errors as a mom,
respetar a mis
to
hijos
respect my children
y respetarme a mí misma,
and respect myself,
amar a mis hijos sobre todo
and love my children above all.
Este taller me motivó a hacer algo para mi comunidad,
This workshop motivated me to do something for my community,
en especial por los niños de San Bernardino.
especially for the children of San Bernardino.
Y yo también tengo mi board de sueños.
I also have my vision board.
Cuando yo tenga mucho dinero,
When I have a lot of money,
voy a hacer un lugar
I want to create a place
para que los niños asistan a
¿Estás bien? Aquí estamos por ti. Así es, sí se puede.
Perdón.
No hay que perdonar.
Quiero hacer un lugar que los niños vayan a hacer sus deportes favoritos,
I want to create a place in which children could go practice their favorite sports,
que sea un lugar grande, hermoso,
that it would be a beautiful, big place
seguro para ellos
that is secure for them,
y que no tengan que pagar sus papás por entrar,
that there's no entrance fee
y
that the parents have to pay,
acabar con toda la maldad que hay.
to eradicate all the bad that exists.
Y como dice Rosa, no voy a cambiar el mundo,
And just like Rosa says, I'm not going to change the world,
pero San Bernardino vamos a trabajar por ello.
but we're going to work
Así
towards
es.
changing San Bernardino.
Así es.
Estoy muy agradecida de que nos hayan dado la oportunidad de estar en los talleres de la señora
I
Consuelo.
am so grateful for the opportunity of being able to attend the workshops by Mrs. Consuelo.
Y les pido que traigan de nuevo estos talleres porque hay muchos padres que no la conocen, no han asistido.
I ask you that you bring these workshops once again because there are a lot of parents that don't know her and don't know about these workshops.
Y si yo no hubiera asistido a esos talleres y no hubiera tenido este impacto en mi vida,
If I wouldn't have attended these workshops, I wouldn't have this great impact in my life.
yo les aseguro que ahorita estuviera en mi casa mirando la TV.
I assure you that I would be at home right now watching TV.
Qué bueno.
Y sé que este impacto lo vamos a tener con más padres.
And I know we're going to have this impact with more parents involved.
Gracias.
Thank
Muchas gracias.
Good evening, board members and community members of San Bernardino. My name is Mirza Andrade Martinez. I'm a prevention specialist with Mental Health Systems, Central Valley Prevention Program. And
Josh Ramirez, Mental Health Systems, Applied Prevention Program.
And we're actually very, very happy to be here today. Our job is to work with communities to help reduce underage drinking and drug use. And the reason why we're here, we're very, very glad we were invited by Mrs. Loera, is because we're going to tell you the impact that FLI parents had in our work and in the world of prevention. Typically, when we work with communities and trying to reduce underage drinking and drug use, we face the realities of the fact that we represent 5% of the world population in the United States, yet in the United States, we consume 75 to 80% of the painkillers that are produced in the world. We also face the fact that in San Bernardino County, the average age of first use of alcohol, and that means a full drink, is 12 years old. And we came and did a presentation at their school, actually, and I met this wonderful group of ladies. And so we went to Vermont Elementary, and we were doing just an awareness presentations to we always try to look for opportunities to talk to parents. The amazing thing for me that day was that this audience was different. These ladies had a love for their community. These ladies were very, very passionate. And typically we do a presentation and we walk out. And on this date, it was something different. We had seen it happen because we do a lot of work with the collaboration of Superintendent Armendariz, and we've been doing a lot of things in Colton, Bloomington, Grand Terrace, but we were recently assigned to work in San Bernardino too. So we know the work that it takes to find those parent leaders and to start a small conversation and then to build a group that's interested in doing something in a community project. It's a long process. The surprising thing is that when we finished doing the presentation, some of these ladies followed me to the parking lot, and one of them said, "Why can't we do that? That story you told us about those parents doing things in other cities, why can't we do that? Why can't we have that?" And she also said something that was very, very powerful, and it really touched my heart. She said, "We need help. We're very tired of losing our kids, and we don't know what to do." And she was talking about losing kids to the dangers of drugs and alcohol, and it is a reality that we face. When I heard that, I said, I'm gonna come back. And she said, "Well, I'm gonna tell you something." There we have an expression in Spanish. She said, "You said that you would come back. And I'm gonna hold you to that." She said, "And if you don't come back, voy a ir y la voy a traer de los cabellos. I'm gonna go, I'm gonna pull you by the hair, and I'm gonna bring you back because you promised." And she's standing right there.
Oh, and she was saying no.
Well, she's sitting right there. I went back to the office and I said, and I told Josh, I said, "You know what? I think I found something, but this is very strange. It's almost like they're already trained. It's almost like they're organized. There's something going on with that group of ladies. There is something that is different about them. And I want to know what it is. And I want to go back and I want to talk to them. And it's impossible for them to be ready. We usually go through this process and we do all these things and we get to this many presentations and we do all this, things to even get them there. But it seems like they're ready and they're asking the right questions. They're almost, just ready to roll up their sleeves and go fight for their kids. This is crazy." I went back and I confirmed everything and I couldn't figure out. I said, "You know what, do you guys want to do a training? We usually do a training after we've been working with a group of parents for a year." And I said, "Do you guys want to do a training?" And they said, "Let's do the training. What do we need to know?" We did a training that talked about dangers of alcohol, tobacco, methamphetamines, and synthetic drugs. We called it an ATMS training. And when we explained to them, it's like an investment, like putting your money in the bank. When you withdraw your money, it's your money that you put in there. So in the world of prevention, you actually invest something when you learn about the dangers. You actually invest in your kid's future when you know the dangers and you know the risk factors and you know the preventive factors. It's putting money in the bank. It's knowing all this information, and you can make an impact in your child's life and in your community. They got it. It was just so amazing. They just got it. Every step of the way, they were just getting it. They were just so ready. And there was always that question, so what do we do next? What do we do next? How can we help? How can we organize? We just passed a little, we just kind of put this together real quick because we weren't really, we were told last minute what they were doing. And we're like, "Oh, we want to come and speak for you. We want to talk about the benefit of the FLI. If we could have parents that are ready to go in that way, it's amazing what they can do. We, by the recommendation back then of the Superintendent Armendariz, we adopted the strategy of HOPE as our plan of action in everything that we do. So HOPE is one of the strategies that we use when we go out and do prevention. They already knew it. They were talking about making HOPE happen, and we were so amazed at what was really happening with this group. To make the story short, they participated I've been working with them for 2 years. They've already they've joined 2 campaigns to help reduce underage drinking and drug use during prom and graduation season, which is our under 21 Cinco No Drinko campaign. They have participated in Superhero Me, which is in October, when it's a call to action to all community members and to kids to be their own superhero, to use leadership skills to stay away from drugs and alcohol. They wore those shirts. They participated in the Safe and Sober Holiday campaign to keep everybody safe and to celebrate safely and set a good example for youth. They've participated in helping develop a Parents in Action group. Normally, it takes us about an average of 2 years to get a Parent in Action group started. They had a Parent in Action group started within 3 months. They were already organizing to be a Parents in Action. So I want to say that I'm so profoundly impressed. And I think it comes down to the fact that they love their community, that they understand what leadership is, that this training has empowered them in such a great way that they know that beautification of a community comes from within. That we don't dream of change, that we make change happen, and that change is a process, and that they're those change agents that are gonna make that change happen, and that it will require hard work, and they know this. And they know that it's gonna take many community actions and many community action projects and many youth projects to get to where we need to get. And I want to say that recently we spoke about them, and I always talk about them everywhere we go because they're such a unique group. But we recently had a meeting in Pomona because somebody heard about our alcohol-free quinceañera program. And we met with staff members from Connie Leiva's office, and they wanted to know about the alcohol-free quinceañera program. Well, guess what? Mrs. Lovera's daughter has volunteered to be an ambassador to the alcohol-free quinceañera program, and she's hosting an alcohol-free quinceañera program in Muscoy. And we're also, organizing, and they've been invited to be part of a meeting, and there's a municipal advisory committee in Muscoy that has heard their story. We went and told their story, and so now they're invited to the table to bring change to the community of Muscoy and to help reduce underage drinking and drug use. And all I have to say is that it's so easy to speak about parents like these. It's so easy to come and do a presentation any day, any time, when you find so much inspiration and so much hope, and they've given us hope, and they make our work easy. So what I want to say is really a big hand to them, a big hand to you for bringing this program to your parents. And we know the conditions in the environment. We know what's going on, and we know, and I hear that, I hear that in my head all the time. I hear that voice that told me we're tired of losing our kids. Please, we want to know what to do.
Well, thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so
I want to
much. This
thank
is
you
wonderful.
for your time.
Pues muchas gracias a todos por las presentaciones. Thank you so much for the presentation. Was there two more speakers? If we can try to be quick.
Good evening to all.
Good evening.
To our superintendent, Dr. Marsden,
Good
distinguished board members. My name is Sharon Cedradine. On Friday, March 11, 2016, I was introduced to a dynamic, motivational, inspiring woman by the name of Consuelo Castillo Kickbush. Today, I stand before you because on Monday, June 12th through Friday, June 16th of the year 2017, I received a spiritual, personal, educational breakthrough like never before. FLI has helped me to become more aware of the many changes, expectations, decisions, accountability, and challenges that our children/students will face while seeking a sense of belonging, uniqueness, power, purpose, joy, and a sense of integrity in a very diverse world and competitive world. We are our children's first teacher. We are stakeholders in their education. It is very important that we remain in full partnership with our schools and community. We must contribute to their educational and academic success. Programs like FLI, Family Leadership Institute, will continue to empower us as parents more so when it becomes more diverse, as I have shared with Mr. Ramirez. It will become more diverse, and it should stand one for all and all for one. The experience that I have had has allowed me to stand my grounds as a parent in our public school system in representing my children at San Gorgonio High School and Rodriguez Prep. There's a great work that needs to be done. And parents, I encourage you to continue to remain involved and engaged, because we are the powerhouse in our children's lives. Thank you for this opportunity.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you, Sharon.
Good afternoon. My name is Angela Loera. I am an incoming sophomore at Arroyo Valley High School, and I would just like to say that as a teenager in today's society, the phrase, "we are going to a workshop," coming out of your mother's mouth after a busy Friday isn't always the best thing ever. And like many teenagers my age, my response to that phrase was a series of whines, fusses, and excuses. But I am proud to say that through all of those whines, my mother dragged me into those workshops, and I thank her. Because if it weren't for her, I would be missing out on a very important moment in my life. I remember sitting closest to the edge on that, sorry.
That's okay. You're
I
doing
remember
great.
sitting closest to the edge so that the presenter wouldn't notice me. But that was pretty hard to do when I was wearing a highlighter pink t-shirt and my mother was presenting me to all of her friends. At first, it was awkward, and I was doing that I'm bored thing that as teenagers do when we are trying to get out the point that we don't want to be there. But within just a few minutes of being there, my opinion changed, and I cried. I shared a few personal stories of mine. I let out my feelings that I had been holding in for a while. And the best part was, I didn't feel exposed. FLI workshop changed my life for the better. And I truly believe that it wouldn't be possible without Consuelo Castillo Kickbush, who told me to keep my head up, have a clear vision of what I want, and to value myself. The workshop made me feel welcome, appreciated, and loved. And I would like no less of that from my community, my peers, and the people of San Bernardino. At the workshops, we are taught that we don't have to focus daily on what we are, but what we can be. Not on why we are in the mess of problems, but how we can solve them. As a daughter, sister, friend, and student, my life can get pretty crazy. And even with the support of my San Bernardino family, at times as teenagers can feel misunderstood, confused, and alone. But with the help of the FLI, we are told that we are not alone, that we are cared for, and that we should always aim to our goals. I would love to see this program spread to the reach of other students in my community. I truly believe that it would help the students in my community understand each other, understand that they are not alone, and learn to get out in the world. I would like to thank you for bringing this program to parents. I would like for the program to be bought for students as well. Like one of my teachers once told me, every day to see just one student learn something from what I teach makes me feel like I'm doing my job right.
That's great.
Thank you for your time.
Thank you so much. And
Good
please,
job, Miss Laura.
hold on one second. If you can point to us who your mom is that dragged you to, okay, yes, and she's the parent that's right in front. And it's so important because parents play a huge role on our children's lives. And I see that your mom is involved and she's brought you in at different meetings, so it's great.
Thank you. I would just like to introduce you the vision board for the FLI group. So this is our vision board. One of the visions that we had, it was to present in CAVE. We haven't had a chance to present in CAVE because we haven't put in our application, but thanks to Consuelo Castillo Kickbush, we presented NAVE. So it was not only California, but we went national.
That's fun.
And a group of parents from Mr. Ramirez, we went to Texas and we presented to national. And it was a great experience. The other thing is that we want to make San Bernardino bright and better. We had a vision of the computers, and we had the computers already thanks to you guys. And then we have the vision of having parents to parents. As you see right here, the pink hearts are the parents to parents workshops that we had so far. And then the red hearts is the workshops with Consuelo. And our vision for 2020 is we want 100% graduation of students. So that's our vision, and we're working on it. We are doing our best. We want future leaders in our community. We're working as a group of parents to become better and better. And we, as a group, we want to thank you all for bringing Consuelo to our lives. It had helped us a lot, and it's too much for me to say how much it had helped me and my community at Vermont Elementary. So thank you very much.
Thank you so much for the
Thank you. Fantastic.
Thank you to the parents. I will go ahead and start with the board members.
Can I don't leave, though.
No, don't leave yet. Yes, Ms. Rogers?
Thank you. First, I want to say a great presentation. Every time I see parents come and just stand before us or stand in a forum on behalf of their children, I am so grateful for that. So thank you all. You did an excellent job. Also to our I think they call it the last leg that came in and just did the relay and cleaned it up. We are so appreciative. Yes, she's the anchor. That's what I was looking for. The anchor, you did a great job, and you identified some of the big decisions that we have to make up here as well, is how do we get it for everybody? And you said that for the students. That's what you're looking for, and that's what we are definitely hearing that, and that's what we're striving to do. To the first presenter as well, and all of you, again, as I said, did well. I've done vision boards and had the opportunity to be amongst Colonel Kickbush and her presentation graduations and came and seen vision boards. But what was really astounding is to see you not only do a vision board, because if you've never done one, it's something that everybody should do because it gives you a goal, but not only did you take the magazines and she had those, but then she began to put real photos up there. So that is great. She moved from the place of just thinking about it, but really making it happen. So you guys all did a fantastic job. We appreciate you coming because this is how we know what's going on and what direction we need to take. So continue to keep up the good work. Not only that, as a parent to parent, I would also say to you, every day, if you can find a parent and you can share what you know, that's one more parent that knows this information. Doesn't matter who it is. They could be in the grocery store. They could be walking down the street. They go to your church, wherever. Share what you know so we can get everybody all together. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Ms. Rogers. Mr. Tillman?
Yes, great presentation. I just wish that Dr. Flores could be here tonight. I know she's at a conference, I think, so she couldn't be here because she really is a champion of the FLI. So I want to give her kudos for really supporting the program. I've gotten calls from her. We got to make this program happen. We got to make sure we get the money. So I love it because you can see the changes that are being made in the participants. So I think it's a great thing. So, but can you explain to me how many days it is and where do you do it at and how long it lasts?
Okay, well, the first presentation that I went for FLI, it was a Vermont Elementary.
Okay.
So Ana Maria Perez just told me to get a group of 40 parents, and I was like, what's going to happen? And she's like, well, I don't know, but they're going to bring somebody to do a presentation. And I go, for how long? How many hours? And she's like, it's going to be 4 days. I go, 4 days? So at the moment, we thought it was a lot of days and a lot of time. But once you start going, it's like, oh, my God, this is too short.
Right.
And so far, it's been 4 days. We started at 9 o'clock to 3 o'clock in the afternoon. And for most of the parents, it was like too short.
Right.
Way too short.
And you said 40 parents?
We got 40 parents. Well, they asked me for 40, but at the last minute, it was almost 100.
Wow.
So just because the classroom, it was too small, but we did have a lot of parents. At the last, I said the third day, we had a lot of parents.
And how many students actually participate? I know the young lady there says she participated. It's
The students that had participated is because they, one time they did it on the weekend. It was a Friday and Saturday because of the dads that can't go. So we tried to do it on a Friday and Saturday. So we have to bring our kids. And that's when I brought my daughter and some other kids that participated, and they loved it.
And how many years you been doing it? Just this one year?
This is my second year.
Second year. And are there different
3
are there different levels when you go back, or different
Yes.
subjects?
Yes, recently they had a group that went on, a month ago, and my husband was invited to go. So first of all, he told me, if you don't go, I'm not going. So I go, okay, I'll go. So, and then the other thing is that Consuelo invited me to present with her. So that was a big challenge that she gave me. I had presented before with her, but presenting in Texas in front of people from all over the country, it's a big challenge. So I did had a chance to go with the group, and I did present. And one of the good experience that I had is that there was this person from another district, and she came and talked to me and told me that she wanted to cops on me and take me to her district.
Wow. Nice.
And I told her, no, I'm sorry, I'm from San Bernardino.
And I know that the concept of teaching, you guys get trained to teach other parents. So are you doing other workshops throughout the district at other schools?
Yes, we are. That's called Parents to Parents. And the group of the FLI, it's Parents Changing the Future.
Right. And how many parents are doing that, do you know?
Hold on.
Wow.
Wow.
Super.
I think there's probably like just the teachers that you introduced and some other 2 or 3 folks, but the rest of them are FLI parents.
Wow.
Thank you.
Nice.
And we do have a big participation of parents. Mr. Ramirez, like how many we had so far? No, when we have the parents to parents, we try to do 20 to 30 parents, but for the FLI, most of the time it's 40 to 60 parents in each FLI.
Parent last year was about 94 parents
Wow. Okay. And if you had to say what the top 2 things is that the new parents get out of it, what would you say?
What was the question?
If you had to pick 2 of the top things that parents benefit from, what would they be?
The 2 top, the empowerment and the confidence of being their own.
Right.
Like my friend right here said, if it wasn't for FLI, I would be watching TV at home.
Right.
There's a lot of parents out there that they love to go through the FLI. They love to go through the program because we bring out all that past that we have to break those chains to continue. And I noticed that when we go to FLI, because I took my group of parents from Vermont, and once they went to FLI, they wanted to work more for the school. They wanted to be more involved with the school for their kids.
Well, I want to thank you all for doing it. I know I saw Ms. Alba, Ms. Ochoa in the back. I want to thank them because they've been working diligently for years. And you guys stand up, Ms. Ochoa, Ms. Alba, stand up. So when the one presenter talked about how prepared you guys are, I feel proud that the district for a long time has been supporting our parents. And I think you can really sense and realize the role that you guys play in our school district, in our community. And the great thing about it is, you know better than I do, but you benefit a whole lot of students whose parents aren't able to go to the presentation. So I can't thank you enough. To me, all of you are worth your weight in gold for the work that you do and the number of students that you benefit. If it wasn't for the work that you guys do in volunteering, so many other kids would be wouldn't be as well off as they are. So I can't thank you all enough. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Tillman. I just want to say thank you and congratulations for coming and presenting. For many parents, it might be difficult, but you guys all did a tremendous job, so thank you so much for coming. As a parent myself, starting off as a parent, you want to learn how you can help your kids. And a lot of times you just come from different backgrounds, it's not necessarily always a bad thing, it's just a different way. And how do you make that connection to help your kids? And it's breaking those barriers, understanding why you do things, the things you do, and maybe not so good. But I'm glad that this program is helping many families, many parents, and then also students realize what their potential is. So thank you so much for bringing this to us. Thank you to all the parents in the audience, as well as our teachers and our staff. Nomás quería decirles que estoy muy orgullosa de que los padres hayan venido y no nomás presentado la información, pero se ve que están con mucha pasión, lo hacen y aprendieron muchas cosas que a veces los padres nosotros aprendemos cosas que no necesariamente son buenos, pero queremos mejorar. Como cualquier padre queremos mejorar y no nomás ha ido los padres, sino los estudiantes también. So, muchas gracias por traerle al programa y vamos a ver cómo lo podemos expandir. También los demás padres que están aquí también, los agradezco que hayan venido y esto es una buena programa por lo que se ve. Muchas gracias. Thank you so much for bringing this forward.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good job, all of you.
And with that, we're going to go ahead because there's another 5.1, which is Family Engagement Strategic Plan for 2017 and 18. We're going to move this forward only because we do have our families here, our parents here. So if there's any conversations that they want to be included in and want to address during public comment, please, this would be a great opportunity to do so.
Yeah, a number of parents that are here tonight are helping to present on item 5.1. So yes, thank you, Madam Vice President. So we'd move that up now so that those parents who are here, we can honor their time. And then we'll then rejoin the public comments directly following their presentation. So thank you.
Mm-hmm.
All right, well, good evening, board. Good evening, community. Tonight, we're really excited. The board will take action on the approval of the Family Engagement Strategic Plan. And as you listen to our various parents, it's kind of a family fun night tonight, isn't it, at our board meeting? You'll hear some intentional actions specifically around outreach to our community and bringing in all the different diversity and the beauty that exists in San Bernardino community, San Bernardino City Schools. So you'll hear some actions around that. You'll hear some actions around improving and increasing our communication, our customer service to all of our students. You will also hear specific actions about building the skill and knowledge of our staff at our schools so that every school is a welcoming, nurturing environment for any parent or any community member who walks through the door, and really that our schools serve as those neighborhood hubs that represent our district. I want to thank Aldo Ramirez and the entire team who helped bring their brain power, their experiences, their knowledge together. They did a phenomenal job. I want to thank the board for your support in encouraging this. We didn't think we could do it in such a short amount of time, but we're pretty pleased with what came out of it, and we know that we will continue to improve upon it. The last piece, and then I'm going to move it on to Mr. Ramirez and the team, is I just want to remind the board, if you look at the presentation, Strategy 8 specifically, there's been some parallel work going on. So we've got this entire strategic plan, which includes many different strategies. Strategy 8 is specific to the centralized hub conversation that has started, where we would be looking for possibly a location where we would have centralized services, which would include an enrollment option. And so that is embedded into the strategic plan. It does not sit separately. And we'll be talking further about that a little bit later into this presentation and then bring it back to the board again. So again, that idea around a centralized services location is a part of the strategic plan, not a separate piece. And so with that, I'll turn it over to Mr. Ramirez. I'm looking forward to hearing from our parents as well.
Thank you, Dr. Morales. Good evening, Dr. Marsden, board members. We're very happy to be here tonight to share with you our proposed San Bernardino City Unified School District Family Engagement Strategic Plan. This plan was developed through the Family Engagement Steering Committee. We had 5 general steering committee meetings, 15 subcommittee meetings. We had 74 different stakeholders, including students, family members, teachers, administrators, and community partners participate in the general sessions and the subcommittees as well, at different levels, some a little bit, some were at every single meeting. It was amazing. The meetings were held in the mornings and in the evenings. We also updated and got substantial amounts of feedback through online surveys and web pages. We advertised all of this via email, Facebook, text message, and web pages. It was a very intense marketing and promotional type of an experiment to make sure that everybody was as involved as they could be. The Family Engagement Strategic Plan has been reviewed by our Family Engagement Steering Committee. It's gone to our cabinet members, and now it's coming to you, our board, for approval with any recommendations and augmentations that you would like to add to it. One interesting thing to note in terms of the process and the involvement of many stakeholders is that many of the items that have been mentioned by you, our board members, as being things to keep in mind were and are very much on the mind of our stakeholders. So having all of these folks in the room really helped make a very robust plan. 2 quick examples. At last board meeting, through our facilitation conversations with our stakeholders, we identified the need for culturally responsive or connective communication strategies, which is right in line with this plan. Strategy 3 is all about having culturally relevant communication strategies for our district. Secondly, the steering committee also discussed and embedded home visitations with a focus on building partnerships with families, which was also talked about extensively at the last board meeting. That's one of the action items in strategy number 5. So you can see the thinking was very robust. Our families and parents have very unique and powerful insights in terms of developing family engagement for our district. So we're very appreciative to them about that. Just for process sakes, the Family Engagement Steering Committee will continue to be an important part of this process. They will help with the implementation of the strategic plan. Our aim is to be truly collaborative as we implement these strategies with all of our stakeholders involved. To that end, we're always looking for more folks to join the ranks of our Family Engagement Steering Committee. And on the slide number 4 that you have in your packets and up on the screen, we have a QR code, and right underneath that, a URL code that you can use right now if you would like to sign up to get the updates for the Family Engagement Steering Committee. So we let you know what the discussions have been, when the next meetings are coming up, what they're about. So we would like to give you a moment to go ahead and scan that and sign up for those updates.
So you'd like the board to scan that now with their phones?
Yes, please.
Okay.
Which I see Ms. Medina's on.
Yes, I'm already on it.
Couple of them.
All right, and if you didn't have the app on your phone right now, feel free to type in that URL later on or download the app and scan the QR code at your leisure. And now, without further ado, I would like to start calling up some of our very active Family Engagement Steering Committee parents so that they can start sharing with you what these actual strategies are, some of the specific action items, and what they feel is powerful about each of the strategies. One thing I would like to request is that we hold our questions to the end to help them feel more comfortable with this process. As we've mentioned earlier, this can be a hard thing to do, to come up here and present in the public. So if you could please hold your questions, that would be fantastic. They are very excited to share with you the strategies of the Family Engagement Strategic Plan. And first of all, I would like to call Lorena Cifuentes, and she would like to share about strategy number 1.
Thank you, Mr. Aldo. Good evening.
Good evening.
Every one of the board members. My name is Lorena Cifuentes. I have 2 children enrolled in the San Bernardino City Unified School District. My daughter's name is Veronica. She is going to attend 7th grade at Richardson Prep High. My older son is Jaciel. He is currently graduated from Cesar Chavez Middle School, and he will be attending Cajon High School for 9th grade. As a parent, I'm glad to be involved in my child's education and participate in their school activities. When they attend to elementary school, I was involved in the school site council at Burbank Elementary. Who remember Burbank Elementary? And then I was parliamentarian at North Park Elementary. And also, I'm proudly part of the CHU program, the Community Health and Education Worker Program in our district, working in collaboration with Loma Linda University and El Sol Neighborhood Educational Center. I have never been so proud of my school district as I am now, believe me. Because looking closely every day, I realize that all work you have done, it's only with a purpose. And the goal is to improve education and academic improvement in all children and serving all of us. Today, we will be presenting to you these 9 strategies. As parents and community members, we want to raise our voices and be heard by you and let our opinion count from these strategies. I have a strategy number 1, which is family engagement support to schools and department program. Strategy actions. To design and implement staff development and support systems to help schools and departments collaborate with all stakeholders to design authentic and highly effective research-based family engagement plans. Design and implement a feedback and incentive system that will help energize school communities to encourage them to work together for the benefit of the students. This strategy has the intentions to create a system for schools and departments to develop individual plans and support structures that will ensure families, staff, students, and community partner work hand in hand to help students become college and career ready. We want to create a web of support to ensure that the students develop the skills and knowledge and behavior that will help them become college and career ready, including programs such as SILC, student leadership programs. Through this strategy, what we are trying to accomplish is for our school and departments to have a good plans for engaging with families, because the work of family engagements belongs to all of us. If we are doing good family engagement work, then we will have a big web to catch the needs of all of the students and families. The most exciting part is that we want to look at the research to not to just reinvent the wheel. Also, we want to see what the most successful families and schools who are like of us do to make those things our key things to replicate. We must have good communication between our communities, families, and schools to work together and be on the same page, because I believe all these things putting together will lead to have more success in our San Bernardino City Unified School District students. Finally, the FLI Family Leadership Institute has helped me in my own growth and empowered me to become a better party member and a good leader for my family and for my community. I wanted to thank each one of you for your attention, and thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Next, I would like to call Mr. Earl Benjamin for strategy number 2.
Good evening, Board.
Good evening.
My name is Earl Benjamin. I am a community health and education worker. I have 3 children in the school district, 2 that attend Indian Springs High School and 1 attend Curtis Middle School. And I am here to present strategy number 2, which is culturally relevant strategies development for staffs, communities, and families. And strategic action in collaboration with the San Bernardino Unified School District, central office departments, and key stakeholders provide staff development that will equip stakeholders with the tools and strategies needed to identify their strength and bridge the cultural gap. We are really looking forward to having a program that helps all of us work better with people from different cultures, which is cultural competence. It is the key to thriving in a culturally diverse community. It can be learned, practiced, and implemented to better serve our staff, students, families, and their community. We want it to be a positive thing that help us all look at each other in a good way, to build mutual respect for one another. We want all of us to be better at making relationships from all kinds of people, from our community, so we can help each other and learn from each other. What I think is most exciting is to know that the staffs and community members will learn how to prepare others with the knowledge to recognize that only the person is the expert about their own culture, values, and beliefs. It is also exciting to see that the different departments and community members will work together to find the program that will work for us all. To have that ability to understand cultural humility. Because cultural diversity is not something to tolerate, but something to embrace and celebrate. Thank you.
Thank you.
Next, I would like to call Ms. Angeles Medrano for strategy number 3, and she's going to speak in Spanish, so if our translator can come and help out.
Buenas tardes. Buenas tardes, señora Ángeles. Buenas tardes,
Good evening.
miembros del board. Mi nombre es Ángeles Medrano.
I am Angeles Medrano.
Soy presidenta del Comité Latino en Cajón High School.
I'm president of the Latin committee at Cajon High School.
Presidenta del Comité de Coordinación de FLI.
Also president of the FLI coordination.
Y ahora grupo de padres líderes cambiando el futuro.
And also a leader of the parent leaders changing the future.
Soy madre de 5 hijos.
I am a mom to 5 children.
Uno de 21 que está en Castey.
One that is 21 that attends Cal State.
Mi segunda hija de 17 graduada de Cajón High School este año.
My daughter who was 17 that had just graduated from Cajon High School.
Pronto irá a Castey.
And she would also be attending Cal State.
Mi hijo de 11 años que irá a César Chávez.
My son that's 11 that will be attending Cesar Chavez.
Mi hija Kendra que irá a Kendall.
And my daughter Kendra who will be attending Kendall.
En mi más pequeña Abigail
And my smallest Abigail
que va a ir a Hillside.
that she
Muy
will
bonito
be
nombre.
attending Hillside.
Muy bonito. And just so you can know, I've known her for a long time. I think my oldest is 21 too, and so we've had our children in the school. So she's one of those parents that have grown and have really good kids. So, nomás diciendo de lo que conocemos, nos conocemos de hace mucho tiempo. Sí, nos conocimos en PTA. Sí.
We met each other
PTA.
at
I was a PTA president, and she was one of the parents there. So this is how we started off many years ago. Okay. Estoy aquí para presentar ante ustedes el plan estratégico de participación familiar.
I am here to present to you the strategic plan of parent participation,
Que es la estrategia 3.
which is strategy 3.
La estrategia 3 es la comunicación culturalmente responsable en todo el distrito.
This strategy 3 is culturally responsible communication in all of the district.
La acción de la estrategia es proveer desarrollo del personal en estrategias de comunicación culturalmente respectivas a escuelas y familias.
Strategic action to provide staff development on culturally responsive communication strategies to schools and families, update customer.
Actualizar la capacitación del servicio al cliente para incluir estrategias de comunicación culturalmente sensibles que estén estructuradas para llegar a todas las partes interesadas.
To update customer service training to include culturally responsive communication strategies that are structured to reach all stakeholders.
La idea o propósito es asegurarnos de que haya buena comunicación
The
con las
idea or
familias,
purpose is to assure us that there is great communication between families
de una manera que nos haga sentir que somos entendidos,
in a way that we feel like we're being understood,
de una manera que nos anime a participar.
in a way in which we are encouraged to participate.
Lo que creo que es más emocionante
The thing that I believe is exciting
en esta estrategia
in this strategy,
es que vamos a conocer diferentes culturas,
that we are going to know different cultures,
cosas diferentes,
different things,
necesidades diferentes,
different needs,
grupos de personas diferentes,
groups of people that are different,
idiomas diferentes.
different languages.
Personalmente me gusta conocer varias culturas, varias razas,
Personally, I like to know different cultures,
y creo que con esa estrategia lo vamos a lograr,
and with this strategy, we are going to accomplish that.
y así vamos a estar más entendidos
And we're going to understand each other better,
y vamos a participar más distrito, escuela, estudiantes,
and we're going to participate more as a district, as a school, as students,
comunidad,
as a community,
para ser un mejor distrito y una mejor
to
comunidad
become a better district and a better community,
y mejor San Bernardino.
and a better San Bernardino.
Muchas gracias, miembros del board, por el
Thank you,
espacio
Members
y
of the board, for
buenas
the
tardes.
time, and good evening.
Thank you, Angeles. Next, I would like to call Ms. Angie Shaw for strategy number 4.
Hi, my name is Angela Shaw. Most of y'all know me as Angie. I am a proud parent. My son Tavion attends Riley College Prep Academy, where I also work as a rec aide on the school site council. I am a rep as a DAC leadership, Black History coach, volunteer for Riley, APAC chair for my school and the San Bernardino High School cluster, and AKA a CHU.
That's right.
Which is community health education worker. But right now, my goal is to draw your attention to strategy 4. Family engagement evaluation system, strategic action, establish research-based key high leverage family engagement strategies that are important to families, schools, and departments. Have schools and departments analyze the feedback data from the evaluation survey that includes the student, parent, and staff points of view and to revise their single plans. As you know, I was able to help with the interview process for the different companies to help us with this survey. But I'm very proud to know that Panorama is the one you have chosen, because I was really impressed with them, because I know they're going to help us get family engagement ideas and reflection from our parents, our students, and even our staff, which is very important to have everybody's opinion, everybody's understanding of what's going on in our school district, which is also important to have our children. We have so many times telling our kids to don't say nothing, but we need to hear them. We want to know how our students are thinking, about what we're doing with the family engagement, not to mention parents and staff. Again, like I said, it's called family engagement for a reason, and this is our family, and children are a part of our family. No matter what age they are, they should be allowed to speak up as well. And of course, our staff, we have a tendency to see things that maybe you or somebody else may not see, but we see something within inside the walls, while you're working over here, and you may visit for a second, but we're there all the time. Those of us who work tediously. The plan is also looking closely at how we're going to have our schools and departments use this information to get a better get better at our family engagement. And the biggest thing I really loved about that company was because of the breakdown. You know, you can go big or you can go really, really small and pinpoint that area we really feel the need that needs to be inputted on. As a CHU, we learned how to find those breakdowns and those key points that what everybody is thinking, not just one person. You know, I could look at it one way, but in reality, it's really the community that's thinking this way. And I really appreciate y'all looking at that. We were also talking about how it's going to create a system that will effectively provide feedback to our school district and our departments on the progress toward implementing. So we're going to be able to have a quantitative, which is our numbers, but even more our quantitative, which is our words and what we're really thinking, because without our quantitative, we can't have the qualitative. So that is how I feel about this, and I hope you enjoy this, and I hope that you will put your stamp of approval on it. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Angie.
Thank you, Ms. Shaw. Next, I would like to call Ms. Analit Mitre for strategy number 5.
Buenas tardes de nuevo.
Good evening once again.
Mi nombre es Analit Mitre.
My name is Analit Mitre.
Soy madre de 3 hijos.
I am a mom to 3 children.
La mayor es Mayra, graduada de high school.
My oldest is Myra. She has graduated from high school,
Ella hizo un año de colegio.
and she has finished 1 year of college.
Mi segundo hijo es Alexis Aceves.
My second son is Alexis Aceves,
Él comienza este año el grado 10 en Arroyo High School.
and he will be attending Arroyo High School, in which he would be in 10th grade.
Mi hija menor es Astrid Aceves.
My youngest daughter, Astrid Aceves,
Ella comienza este año en la escuela Martin Luther King el 7º grado.
she will be starting 7th grade at Martin Luther King.
Soy madre voluntaria en las 2 escuelas.
I am a volunteer mom in both schools.
También soy miembro activo del Plan Estratégico de Participación Familiar.
I'm also an active member of the Family Engagement Strategic Plan.
Soy directora de un club en el Consulado Mexicano.
I'm also a director of a club at the Mexican Consulate.
Soy la voz de los padres que trabajan
I am the voice of the parents at work
y no pueden asistir a estas
and
reuniones.
can attend these meetings.
También soy parte del grupo Padres Líderes de FLI.
I'm also a part of the leadership of parents of FLI.
A continuación les voy a presentar la estrategia número 5.
And in continuation, I'm going to present strategy number 5.
Centro de Participación Familiar.
Center of Participation, Family Participation.
Hacer un plan de horario de los centros.
To make a schedule of the centers.
Tener más personal para expandir el horario de los centros.
To have more personnel to expand the times of these centers.
Asegurarse que las escuelas tengan luz y seguridad.
Assure that the schools have light and security.
Expander los talleres de éxito en las escuelas, iglesias y centros comunitarios.
Expand workshops that are successful at schools, churches, and community centers.
Tener letreros llamativos para identificar la ubicación de los centros.
And to have signs that are visible so that they could show where the meetings are held.
En algunos, cambiar de lugar la ubicación de los centros.
Or maybe change the location of these centers.
Un ejemplo es en la escuela Arroyo.
One example is at Arroyo.
Mandar un calendario distrital.
Send a district-wide calendar.
En la actualidad, algunos padres no usan la tecnología.
In actuality, some parents don't use technology.
Y así nos aseguramos de que todos los padres mandando este calendario por correo, todos
And by
tengan
sending this calendar through mail, we could assure that all
la
parents will
información.
see the information.
También es encuestas de necesidades de la comunidad.
Also surveys about the needs of the community.
Gracias.
Thank you.
Okay. Muchas gracias.
For Strategy 6, I would like to call up Berenice Monroy Walker.
Buenas tardes, miembros del jurado, del board.
Good evening, members of the board.
Mi nombre es Berenice Monroy Walker.
I am Berenice Monroy Walker.
Soy madre de 3 niños
I am mother of 3 children
que pertenecen al Distrito Escolar de San Bernardino desde hace 3 años.
that are part of the San Bernardino City Unified School District for about 3 years.
El mayor se llama Cuauhtémoc Monroy Walker.
My oldest, his name is Cuauhtémoc Monroy Walker.
Él atiende a la escuela de Arroyo.
He goes to Arroyo.
Mi niña Mia Atsiri Miranda,
My daughter,
Mia Atsiri Miranda, tiene 11 años
she is 11 years old.
y próximamente asistirá a la escuela Richardson.
She will be attending Richardson.
Jesús Javier Miranda
Jesus Javier Miranda
tiene 9 años.
is 9 years old.
Él está en la escuela de Vermont.
He is at Vermont School,
Ella empezará su grado 4.
and he will be in 4th grade.
Soy vicepresidenta del grupo de FLI,
I am vice president of the FLI group of parents
Padres Líderes Cambiando el Futuro,
that are parent leaders changing the future,
y miembro activo
and I'm an active member
del Plan Estratégico de Participación Familiar.
of the proposed Family Engagement Strategic Plan.
Disculpen un poco porque
Please forgive me.
estoy un poco
I'm a
nerviosa.
little nervous.
Yo les voy a hablar de la estrategia número 6,
I'm going to talk to you about strategy number 6,
la expansión de la universidad familiar
the expansion of the Family University
de San Bernardino.
of San Bernardino.
Las estrategias
The strategic actions
es aumentar la promoción de clases universitarias,
to increase the promotion of the Family University classes
y trabajar mano a mano con los maestros
by working hand in hand with teachers
para informar a las familias
to inform families
y enviar un horario mensual de clases
and mail a monthly class schedule
a todos los hogares.
to all households.
Realizar clases en lugares comunitarios,
Hold classes in community locations
escuelas,
and schools.
crear e implementar un programa de reconocimiento y celebración de la universidad familiar.
Create and implement a Family University recognition and celebration program.
Me gustaría que se le informara a los maestros cada vez que se envían información a las escuelas. A veces no se le llega a los maestros.
I would like that teachers receive the same information because sometimes when it's sent out, they are unaware of what's going on.
De esta manera ellos pueden tener mejor conocimiento de todas las clases que se dan en los centros de padres.
That way they have knowledge of all the classes that are offered at the centers for parents,
como las clases de inglés, computación,
as like the classes of English and computers
tutoría.
and tutoring.
En estas clases mis niños se beneficiaron este año.
Through these classes, my children were benefited greatly this year.
Hace algunos meses atrás,
A few months
mis
ago,
niños estuvieron hablando sobre la tutoría aquí mismo.
and they were my children were talking about the tutoring that they received,
Y lo hicieron mejor que yo.
and they did it better than I did.
Doy gracias y pido que se sigan impartiendo estas clases.
I thank you, and I ask that these classes keep going.
Gracias.
Thank you.
Muchas gracias.
Thank you. Good job.
for Strategy 7, I would like to call Ms. Rosa Loera.
Hello again, board members, public. My name is Rosa Loera. I'm a mother of 3 hurricanes. Angela, Sebastián, and Santiago. They go to Vermont Elementary, Cesar Chavez Middle School, and Arroyo Valley High School, which I'm very active volunteer parent as a president of the DLAC, the PTO, and member of the School Site Council. I'm also a mother leader presenter of the Family Leader Institute, Parent to Parent, and Parents Leaders Changing the Future. I'm presenting strategy number 7. Argumentation of the leadership component of the SBCUSD Family University. The strategy action, create a parent task force that is dedicated to volunteering at the schools to support and mentor students and other parents to increase participation in district programs, increase involvement of the fathers and the father figures, improve family resilience and support families with their transition from elementary to middle school and middle school to high school. Offer fun learning programs for families, especially ones that get the community to come together and learn from each other. The focus of this strategy is to get more leaders in our community. We want to get fathers and father figures involved, and we want to get more positive communications and collaborations between families and schools. We have a beautiful lady, Ms. Alva, that she is very involved in the schools with the workshops that she gives out in the schools, and we need more parents to be involved to give out workshops like that. We now have parents who are getting the principals excited about doing family engagements, work with the school sites. And from us parents and leaders, we also learn from the teachers and the staff. I learned a lot from Mr. Aldo Ramirez, and I want to be thankful to him. I learned a lot from Consuelo Kickpush. I learned a lot from Barbara Flores. They're my leaders. I learned a lot from Ms. Alva, and I do really learn a lot from a beautiful lady, Ms. McCain. I'm a very active parent in my school, and thanks to Ms. McCain, I did a lot of work in my school, and I've been asking questions, how you do it to get all those parents together. Okay, don't ask me, I don't know how I do it, but we get all those parents together. And what I think that is the most exciting thing of the strategy number 7, I think that it was exciting about strategy is how to get. We are going to go out and do more of these classes to all the school sites. And I always say that if the mountain doesn't come to you, you go to the mountain. This is going to help me get more people involved in the local schools as well. And I would like to share a thought with you. I don't pretend to change the world, but to make the difference in the destination that God brought me to live in San Bernardino.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Well said.
Strategy number 8, Maria Elena Najar.
Elena.
Buenas noches, miembros de la mesa directiva,
Good evening
Good
to the
evening.
board
público en general.
and to all the audience.
Mi nombre es María Elena Najar,
My name is Marilena Lajar.
orgullosamente mamá de 4 niños.
I'm proud mother of 4 children.
Dulce Najar, que está en el Miro College.
Jules Nahar attends Middle College.
Jocelyn en la Anderson.
Jocelyn is at Anderson.
Donald y Azul en la George Brown.
Donald and Seal are at George Brown.
Actualmente estoy asistiendo a mi grupo favorito, que es FLA.
I am currently attending my favorite group, which is FLI.
Soy presidenta de los niños con necesidades especiales,
I am-
con sus siglas SAS.
I'm president of the Students with Special Needs, which is CAC.
Me gusta ser voluntaria de todos los programas
I like to be a volunteer of all the programs
y nuestros eventos de nuestra comunidad.
and all of the events in our community.
Me involucro mucho, me gusta involucrarme mucho en las juntas de mis hijos
I like to involve myself in the meetings that my children have,
y de vez en cuando representando algún cargo en la escuela.
and every once in a while to represent something at the school.
Trabajo en la escuela Jones
I am at Jones,
y hoy tengo el privilegio de comunicarles la estrategia número 8,
and today I have the privilege of communicating strategy number 8.
que es establecer el centro de recursos
This is to establish
de matriculación para padres.
the center of registration for parents.
Primero, creando un plan implementario.
First is to create a plan that implements.
El segundo es identificarlo mejor, la localización central.
Secondly is to identify a centralized location.
Y el tercero es el diseño de la arquitectura de la
And
localización.
thirdly is the design of the architecture for this location.
Sabemos que muchas de nuestras familias quieren ir a un lugar donde se sientan cómodas,
We know that most of our families want to go to a place in which they feel comfortable,
a recibir a la ayuda.
to receive the help.
Y creo que esto es parte del plan de participación familiar.
And I believe that this is part of the family engagement plan.
Queremos honrarlo y reconocerlo aquí en esta estrategia.
We want to honor and recognize this in this strategy.
Y lo que es más emocionante es
And the most exciting thing is
que la Junta y el gabinete
that the board and the cabinet
están hablando de hacer de este espacio
are talking about making this space
un lugar muy agradable
a really nice place
para nuestras familias.
for our families.
Gracias por todo su apoyo.
Thank you for all of your support.
Son excelentes,
You are excellent.
hermosos
You're beautiful.
y gracias.
And thank you.
Un aplauso para ustedes.
Board, I just want to jump in here real quick before we get to our final strategy. So strategy 8 is the work around this centralized location for services. And we had our first meeting, as you know, with our parent leaders and community members on June 19th, where we looked at the data that we've shared with you and did a little bit of analysis. I'll give you just a quick high level of some of what we walked away with on that particular data. One of the questions, the ideal location for this enrollment center or for this center, which would include options for enrollment. And the data of over 7,000 parents shows that parents want an option to be able to enroll at schools, as well as if they want to come to a central place. They also want a mobile or online option, so we'll be investigating that. The second question was really around operating hours. And so Monday through Friday is what our parents want, but they also want an opportunity for one night a week of an extended evening time and probably one time a month for a weekend, a Saturday of some sort. So we will be taking that into consideration as we continue to work on what this centralized location would look like. We have another follow-up meeting that we invite the board to next Monday evening, and where we talk about the long-term plan timeline as well as what we're going to do in the meantime. So again, this is a piece of the larger plan, and just wanted to put that in front of the board.
All right, perfect.
Hand it back
Thank
to
you.
our parents. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Dr. Morales.
Can you hold on one sec? Mr. Tillman?
Yeah, because I know that the parent, she mentioned a place that it was in consideration. So do you have any clarification? No?
No. So this is just highlighting the work that is being done for the centralized services and enrollment hub. So we wanted to make sure that that process was captured as
My
part
only
of the
question, just so I'm clear, because you seem awfully excited about just some imaginary place. Has there been a place that's been discussed?
She's very excited about having a very nice place, and we are in the process.
But nothing specific?
Somewhere close she would like, but so not a specific place yet. Do you want to know if she has a recommendation?
Yeah, I mean, it sounds like she knows something.
Well, Mr. Tillman, we're working with a diverse group of parents. I believe she is included in that. And we plan on coming back to the board on August 15th for a little bit of an update. But she is very excited. We really like working with her. She's quite emotional.
Thank you, Mr. Tillman. Mr. Gallo?
Yes, thank you, Aldo. Is there some top-level implementation components of this, like so many sites, so many school sites will have family engagements at all of our school sites? Is it rolled out over a 1 year, 2 year period? How many people are we planning for at each of these kind of top-level requirements as part of the strategy here, just so we kind of get a concept of where we're going?
So it's a 3-year plan, and on the back, all of the action items are laid out on a monthly basis for the 3 years. In terms, I believe your question is about the family engagement centers and the staffing for those specifically?
Well, and I'm specifically talking about the facilities first, and then we can talk staffing relation. But is it going to be at every school site, for example?
So strategy number 8 is the one centralized services enrollment option hub. So there will be one of those. And the amount of staffing that will be placed there is dependent upon the final list of what our community would like to see at that center. So we kind of have to work backwards. On Monday, we're going to try to finalize what those final slipping out. So the final services or ideal services we would like to have at those centers, and from there we will backwards map how much staff that would be, how much square footage.
And I guess what I'm asking for, and I'm kind of separating these items as enrollment center with multi-purpose supportive services offered, et cetera, et cetera. I've been part of the strategic planning meetings and attended, but I understand that at each one of our schools, we have a family engagement center. Is that what we're calling them at each of our schools that will be rolling out in a particular classroom, that they can be equipped with site-specific equipment through, parent advisories that are participating at each one of the schools? And I'm just, is this that plan as well?
Yes. So
okay. So I guess first question, are we doing it at every school? Will there be a family engagement center at every school?
No.
Okay.
So we have 6 family engagement centers, one at each of our comprehensive high schools. And we have staffing for those in certain hours. So this plan takes that current existing structure and expands and augments it to better serve the needs of the community.
Okay, well, then what I'd recommend is that maybe we identify those specific target opportunities here just as part of the plan. Just those are overarching kind of requirements, that there'll be 6 would do it. And I mean, I know we have more family engagement centers. I mean, maybe we're calling them something else, but I know elementary schools have them, and several middle schools have them, and maybe they're calling them something different. I guess I'm asking the question, are they calling them something different?
So each school kind of decides what they call their family space, if they have a family space. The intention of this plan is to utilize the family engagement centers at the high schools and their expertise to further support the schools in development of their own. If some schools don't have the space to have a family engagement center or a family center or a family resource center, and so at the minimum with those schools, what we want to do is help them have a robust family engagement component for their single school plan. And so that's the strategy.
But only at the 6 or 7 or whatever comprehensive high schools, right?
So every single school will have a single plan, and every single school should have a family engagement strategy within that plan, whether it's having a center and a space and maybe some staff dedicated to family engagement, or whether it's just staff dedicated to family engagement and they utilize the space during the time.
I think I get it now. I mean, I would just like to see that articulated here, just be a recommendation, so that, just as the way you characterized it. You're going to actually establish 6 of them at the comprehensive high school sites, 1 enrollment center at the desired location, some special, great, nice place. And then at each one of the school sites, they will develop specific plans, per se, for how they will not only incorporate a community engagement strategy, but also identify space for those parent participants.
Would much of what Mr. Gallo's mentioning be covered in the action plans under the strategies in the overarching, the large?
Yeah, but it'd be just nice to actually put this as kind of like your system, top-level system requirements, so to speak, so that we understand, all right, here's what we're doing. These are the targeted ways we're doing. Here's the strategies. And then as we get into the action plans, we can.
So that's
it's just a recommendation.
duly noted. We'll add that in the executive summary.
Thank you. Yeah, thanks, Aldo. Great work. This is, you know what's exciting about this, and kind of as Mr. Tillman was saying before, to see the active engagement of our parents and the excitement of our parents in this, I can't overemphasize the importance of that. And you know that you're setting the course of your students' future at heart here too, and through deliberate parent engagement is one of the best predictors of student success. So I really thank you guys for engaging, and it was a great presentation. Love how you split it up amongst all of you.
We still have more
You
slides.
each took a role, so thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We have one more. Thank you so much, Mr. Gallo. If you can you wait until we finish the other two? Okay, please. So we're going to move along with strategy number 9.
Absolutely. And last but not least, we have a dynamic duo, Ms. Catalina Castillo and Ms.
Seems
Roxana
like there was
Benjamin
9.
for strategy number 9.
Thank you.
Good evening, board members.
Good evening.
My name is Rishana Benjamin, and I share children with Earl Benjamin. And I'm a member of I'm on the school site council at Curtis, and I'm vice president of the APAC at Curtis, and we cluster with Indian Springs.
Fantastic.
And we're here to present strategy 9, and it's the strategic contracting process. The strategic actions will be assembling a representative team to determine a key outcome requirements for contract work, a call for proposal process with timelines, and key areas of focus based on the Family Engagement Strategic Plan. Publish a call for vendor proposal presentations in the key areas identified by the representative team.
Again, good evening. My name is Catalina Castillo. I have 3 students in the district, Adrian, Giselle, and Sara Castillo. I am both School Site Council and English Learning Committee President at both Ramona Alessandro and Rio Vista Elementary. I am also the former School Site Council Vice President and current English Learner Committee Secretary at Arroyo Valley. The idea in Strategy 9 is to make sure that our contracts help us get better at what we as families and as a district do to meet the needs of our students in the area of family engagement. We want contracts to help us implement needed strategies better and faster. We want the contracts to build our abilities as families and the abilities of our district staff so we can always serve the needs at a relatively good level. We want to make sure that we are looking at our plan to see what is needed and that we get the help at a high quality level. What I think is most exciting is that our community benefits from programs such as the Family Leadership Institute provided by retired Colonel Consuelo Castillo Kickbush, founder of Educational Achievement Services, which also has a program for teens. This program has reached a diverse audience and has empowered many parents, providing materials, tools, and life skills to help us rise as a community. Consuelo has the ability to help us at a personal and emotional level, resulting in leadership growth. Her Family Leadership Institute program has inspired our community to create parent-to-parent workshops, book readings, and the Parent Leaders Changing the Future Committee. This is just the beginning. I believe that the programs provided by Consuelo can help us reach another level, truly making hope happen.
And I'm a proud parent leader, changing the future, and I'm happy to be attending the parent project right now that's going on in the district. And I'm learning a lot about new ways to work with at-risk youth, and I'll be completing this program this Friday. And what's most exciting to me is the school district uniting with Loma Linda and also Neighborhood Educational Center to strengthen the community of San Bernardino. By integrating the CHOOS into the schools, we're off to a great start doing home visitations. We just did home visitations with the principal of Sierra High School, Mr. Marietta, and the youth services. And we actually enrolled just about 30 students, and the number is still increasing.
That's great.
And I'm just excited about that. And overall, with us CHOOS, doing home visitations, we'll be helping to bridge the gap between homeschool and community.
That's
Thank
wonderful.
you so much.
Thank you so much.
Fantastic.
Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, they went out with Mr. Murrieta, visited around 200 homes, and immediately enrolled 30 students at Sierra that wouldn't have otherwise enrolled. And the calls are still coming in. He couldn't give me a final number as of right now, but it's way more than 30.
And just before we leave this topic, I would ask, for the board's sake, if the parents who are graduates of the Gateway College, if you could stand up so you could be recognized as well. So congratulations to each of you who are one in the back, a couple graduates from the Loma Linda Gateway College, and so you are officially Loma Linda alumni. So congratulations to you and being part of the first class graduating.
Another quick note on that. So our contract with Loma Linda called for 6 community health and education workers. We interviewed, it must have been like 18 people, one marathon day, 10 and a half hours.
Wow.
And Loma Linda was so impressed that they offered 2 scholarships on top of the 6 that we already had, which is fantastic. Our parents and our community are incredibly talented, and I'm blessed to be able to work with them on a daily basis. I do want to also recognize out in the audience, we have community members, we have teachers, we have community relations workers that are also a part of all of this work, and I think they're important. There's many people that would have liked to have been here today, but couldn't for various reasons. Some are out with family enjoying the last of their vacation before they go back to school. I do want to highlight, last time Mr. Marcelino Serna was going to present on this topic, and he was unable to make it due to a technical error on my part. He knows how long these meetings go, so he requested from me to text him when we were getting close, and I was frantically sending him texts to the wrong number, and so he didn't get that message. He wanted to be here today, but he's actually enjoying some time with his family, much deserved, back east. But he, like I, he's very involved in this process, very excited, but we are mostly excited about actually implementing these strategies. That's where the rubber meets the road. That's where we have the big impact. We believe that we need to have a relentless, collaborative implementation process with our family engagement plan. And so with that, I would like to highlight a few of the next steps. So our Family Engagement Steering Committee will meet on a quarterly basis to get quarterly updates on how we're doing with the implementation of the strategic plan, and also to give us feedback and insights. We will continue to have many, many subcommittee meetings. This is a very robust plan, and so we need to continue to collaborate with stakeholders to flesh out a lot of the detail work that is needed to implement the strategies. And lastly, we will be hosting, thanks to my community relations workers and Emily, who have been working arduously on a Parent Leadership Institute for this year. And we want to combine that with a kickoff of the Family Engagement Strategic Plan so that we advertise it, let everybody know. The Parent Institute is going to be at the Joy Harvest Church on Sepulveda Avenue. The morning sessions are August 28th and 29th, 9 to 12 a.m. The evening sessions are August 30th and 31st, 5 to 7:30 p.m. At the Joy Harvest Church. So with that, we would like to actually get any recommendations, comments that we can incorporate into the strategic plan from the board's perspective.
And we do have 2 board comments, and I'll go ahead and ask Ms. Rogers if you can make your comments.
Yes. Thank you, Aldo. This was a great presentation. I think we can deem tonight as Parent Empowerment Night because parents, you have done an outstanding job. So again, commend you for being here. and definitely laboring with us. So having heard what I've heard tonight, I wrote the word hopeful, so I want to remind myself that I see the direction that we're going, and I'm glad about that. And I'm also happy that I heard that we're going to celebrate cultural diversity. I think Mr. Earl had mentioned that, so that's important, and letting me know that we are capturing the conversations that we're having. I do, and I also, just the fact that you mentioned the single plan, implementing that, again, we know that we're working with all sides of it, so that's great, and I appreciate the leadership on that. I do, as Mike was saying, there needs to be, naming is really important, and I think I briefly looked at the survey here, we just saw it tonight, but there has to be some type of naming clarification, and it looks like one of them even just said San Bernardino City Unified, and I know I love San Bernardino City Unified, but somehow, some way, even with your last comment of FLI, or not FLI, but the Leadership Institute, because interchangeably we get into acronyms and we get confused. And I know as a parent, I've had to navigate through this as well as you, Ms. Medina, and I was asking her up here, and I know Dr. Menares saved the centers because it's so easy to get caught up into, okay, it's the center, are we talking about the hub, are we talking about the enrollment center, are they on the campuses? And then there are many levels of it from elementary. So somehow there needs to be a big umbrella, and then we have the naming so parents know what they're going to. I mean, at some point in time, sometimes even if you say institute on a 6 o'clock night, I might not want to go to an institute. I mean, I might not want to do that, but make it, but a name that's catchy. So I think that's something that we definitely need to explore a little bit more as you are talking to your parents. Let's see, what else did I have? And then I just needed a little bit more information. I heard panoramic, I think, came up. I'm not familiar with exactly what that was. I know we might have saw it, but I don't know what they're doing differently from what someone mentioned also in their presentation about we're going to do some RFPs and different things like that. So I don't know if that was the research people that was helping out with that, and then now we're going to call for a proposal for something else. So if I can get some clarification on that.
So the clarification is the Panorama is the company that ended up being on top of the committee's prioritization for the RFP that we had initially requested Gallup to help us do family engagement measurements in the district, and then Mr. Tillman recommended we take that to an RFP process. Okay. And so that was taken to the RFP process.
So are we done with them, or they're still part of this process?
So they were just getting started with them.
So this is where the work is coming out.
Yes.
Okay.
And you might have also heard about Panorama because they are actually already working in the district doing student surveying.
Okay.
And so it's the same company. So that's
who was a part of, or how did we get this survey? Who did that?
That survey was Mr. Arellano and myself. Dr. Monares brought it to us. We need a survey in conjunction with our DLAC and our DAC. COPE. And with COPE. And so they had a survey that they had initially put out to some stakeholders. I believe they had gotten about 300 respondents.
Okay.
So we took that survey and helped them get it out to a much larger audience.
Okay.
So the questions that were developed on this survey were developed by whom?
By COPE and the DLAC members.
Thank you. Just wanted that clarification.
Yes.
So they
Yes.
and how did we
the DAC.
distribute?
And the
DAC.
Yes.
And the DAC. So it was distributed how to capture?
We made 52,000 copies and put them into bundles and delivered them to the elementaries, middle, and high schools.
Okay, and then they just gave them to the parents as
To
they
the
came?
teachers, to the students, to the parents.
Okay.
We're not sure that that's the model we're going to follow with Panorama.
Yeah, right. I mean, I see we had some huge numbers in certain areas, but again, we know we need to, we're looking to do better.
Yes.
And greater, so we make sure that we are hearing all the voices. So again, and I do see, as I look through this, some of it is on the customer service side as well. So that's a part of the strategy as well. And I know that's very important to parents because you can be turned off very easily. So I think that's my questions. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Ms. Rogers. Mr. Scott White?
Thank you, Ms. Medina. First of all, just on both presentations this evening. Phenomenal job. You know, it's always amazing to see the parents here. You know, you'll hear me say up here frequently that we are our children's first teachers. And when I see parents like you involved, I know that it enables us as a district, as a board, and as families to get the job done. Because it is very difficult to do it on our own as parents. It is very difficult to do on our own as educators. But if we work together and collaboratively work together and listen to our recommendations from our families and our parents and our students, we could get that mission done and done well. It's kind of interesting because I look at Ms. Medina and myself, and I look at you as parents down there, and many of you are on multiple committees. I mean, I've been writing them down. I have probably about 9 different acronyms here, and I'm not going to list them all, but it's just like, wow. You know, you guys are very busy, first of all. But what's interesting is that's how it started for us.
Yeah, so we definitely started there.
And I'll be quite honest with you, when I was doing those things as well, I had no idea or any dream that I would be sitting up here.
Right.
So when I look at you, I see future board members, future city council members.
Like
Yes. Trust me, you don't know that right now, but it very well could happen.
Future
because
mayor,
of your dedication. You know, some of the words I wrote here was dedication, passion, enthusiasm. You know, I heard Mr. Gallo touch on that a little bit. Just seeing joy in some of you saying, yeah, we want this amazing, and I'm going to call it the hub right now, and I do too. You've probably heard me up here say, if we build it right for the next 20 years. If we build it to the expectation that we would build this Board of Education building and our central office the same for our parents and our families, because you are who we serve. Okay, and if anybody deserves nice, it is our families, our students, and our staff. And so you'll hear me support that and push for it. You know, I'm looking at names here, and you know, I love that, you know, the majority love our San Mateo City Unified School District. I think that's pretty amazing because that shows support and belief in our district. And then the San Mateo City Enrollment and Resource Center was right there at number 2. And I thought, why not just squeeze San Mateo City Unified School District Family Enrollment and Resource Center? Because that's what it is, right? It should be about family. And I think we should emphasize that because when I look at this family engagement strategic plan, I've been involved in strategic planning as well. Again, I know how much work goes into this. This is multiple meetings. It is conversations that aren't always pleasant, you know, because we disagree often. But in order for us to concede and to have consensus, to me, that is the beauty, hopefully, of how politics and government works. Because we have very varying opinions. We have different values. We have different moral sets. But when we are able to come together and agree on a plan, form a plan, and then now execute this plan, that's the beauty of democracy right there.
That's right.
And that is the beauty of community as well. So I applaud all of you on getting this done. I'm looking forward to making this happen and supporting it. And it's interesting that, you know, we have our folks that graduate from Gateway College, because I was there. And now, you know, seeing regular clothes, but seeing your gowns, it's like, wow. That was, and I know I gave quite a few some hugs out there. It was really exciting and emotional. And to hear that some of you were able to get some grants and scholarships and take it to the next level. You're a role model for your children, for our community, and for me. So I thank you for all your hard work, and I applaud you. And I know this board is on board of supporting our community and supporting our families and our students. And, you know, I'm a little bit in the middle now because it says a lot of you wanted to do all this at your schools. And then the next majority was here at the central office. So it sounds like we have a couple different areas we got to target and focus on. But great work. I am looking forward to our hub, whatever it may be called and named. And I look forward to it to being an amazing facility that is top-notch and what our city and our families and our students and staff deserve. So thank you again.
Thank you, Dr. Scott Wyatt. Mr. Tillman?
You know, the concern I have, you mentioned this 3-year strategic plan. I don't know where the 3 years came from, but 3 years seem way too long to me. I don't know what's going to take 3 years. I'm looking at this document. I don't see what could. I just think 3 years is too long. I don't know what 3 years means. 3 years from now, it's going to be a totally different environment. We don't know how much money we're going to have, but I really think we got to have a timeline that talks about what some of the milestones are and what are the things we're going to do now. you know, and I don't know how we expedite it, but we have to expedite it. I'm not going to sit and wait 3 years to find out where we're going to build the building and what building we're going to build and how much it's going to cost. And so, and that's up to the board, I guess, to some extent, to say if they're going to wait 3 years. I don't know what the 3 years. I don't know where the 3 years came from. 3 years is too long, though. But I guess some of the things I'm talking about, we talked about doing a centralized enrollment center, and if we're still going to do that, what are some of the proposals and what are we talking about? And then in terms of money, in the end, I think we should build a system and a process that the district can afford and makes sense. And I'm going to tell you why I say that. You know, you mentioned we're going to talk about all these things that we want and cost it out, but you got to have a realistic idea of how much money you're going to be willing to spend, because you're not going to always have the same amount of money. And I would like to see the next centralized enrollment center survive the next downturn. We had a centralized enrollment center. It went away because we couldn't afford the staff that was dedicated just to that center. The way the initial enrollment center started, we took staff from the different sites and put them at the centralized site. So when I hear the discussion about we're going to have them at the sites and a centralized location, I'm just trying to figure out how's that funding mechanism going to work. And so, and I know, you know, my whole style of doing this is different than other people. Some folks can sit through 3 years of strategic planning meetings. That's not me. So I don't know how we're going to do it, but we got to at some point come back with some concrete items about where we're at with stuff. But I don't know how you guys are going to do it, but I was hoping that we had some open discussion about what's being considered in terms of buildings. There's going to be a new building, there's going to be a different building, because we don't agendize these items on a regular basis because we have so much stuff. So it'd be nice to hear something more concrete than what we have tonight.
Absolutely. And just for your information, the timeline for all that planning is not 3 years. It's actually coming fairly quickly. And one of the things I can do to help get you more of that information is through that QR code, we can send updates as to how those conversations are coming along directly to you and the rest of the team, so that they can see what the progress is that we're making towards that centralized center.
Yeah, the problem I have, though, I'm great with getting input, but at some point the board's going to have to make the decision on what we're going to do. I don't want to sit through a whole bunch of, I don't know, meetings on top of meetings on top of meetings. I think we've had the discussion about what we want and how we want it and where we want it, but the board needs to have that presented, and we need to make the decision on how much it's going to cost, where we're going to do it at, what we're going to name it, and move forward, because we all agree we're going through all this because it's going to benefit our students. So the sooner we implement it, the better it's going to be.
So, Mr. Tillman, just to clarify, the plan is for 3 years because there's multiple actions in there. The building, that's a much quicker timeline. And so we'll be coming back with some recommendations for the board to consider in alignment with some work in business services. So the timelines are different. The strategic plan, which is in your board packet, has multiple strategies and actions, and we're giving 3 years for our schools and our district to transform in that area. But the actual building is not a 3-year timeline.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you for the clarification. Thank you, Mr. Tillman. Superintendent Marsden?
Yeah, thank you, Ms. Medina. Aldo, I just want to thank you for your leadership, your efforts, the parents, all of you. Your efforts are to be commended. This is quality work. You've put a thoughtful, mindful approach here that's really been considered. As I read through it, the details, you're laying the foundation for your children and children who will come following. And so well done. Change is hard. Change is uncertain. So now as we go through that transformation stage, I know a number of people that will feel confident because of the work you've done here. So thank you so much. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
All right, with that, thank you so much for the presentation to all the parents and the families that participated. It's very important. I think it's very important to have parents' voice in it, especially the multiple cultures within the parent voice. And for me, it was exciting just to see, first of all, the centralized center, but also looking at the culturally relevant strategies and also looking at culturally responsive ways of connecting with families. And I think those are key components that in any successful program that pertains to families and how we're reaching out. Thank you so much for everything. This is a great, look forward to hearing the presentation regarding the building and what's going to happen next. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
And thank you, Dr. Monedas.
Okay, with that, we're going to go ahead and move forward to back to item 3.0, students, board members' comments.
He's left.
Okay, so he has left for the evening. We're going to move to 4.0, public comments.
And we have no public comments.
Okay, great. Okay, so we're moving along. This is good. 6.0, reports and comments by, 6.1, reports by San Bernardino Teachers Association.
I
See
think we
none.
have no report.
Okay. 6.2, report by California School Employees Association.
I believe also no
No
report.
report, great. 6.3, report by Communication Workers of America. Come on down.
Can I just caution you, well, maybe you don't have any blue slips. You have any blue slips?
No
Okay.
public comments tonight, Mr. Tillman.
Good evening, Board, Dr. Marsden and Vice President Mendoza.
Good evening.
Thank you.
I just want to come down and say I want to really thank Dr. Fulcomer and Dr. Wiseman and Dr. Mitchell for coming to the onboarding thing that we had 295 substitutes there at the PDC building, and they were hit with an awful lot of information, and it was good. And now
That's great.
tomorrow we finish it, and I'm hoping that you'll be able to, Dr.
Okay.
Marsden, come in and say 2 words.
I wish I could. I'll be traveling, unfortunately. I
all right.
apologize.
From what time to what time?
It starts at 8:30 and goes to 4, so you can come in at any time. They have break for lunch from, I think, 11:45, 12:45.
Okay.
All right, that's all I have to say. It was a really good training, and we're looking forward to finishing it tomorrow.
All right.
We'll have 3 more of the onboarding things later. Thank you.
Thank you,
Thank
Mr.
you
Fletcher.
so much. Thank you so much. We're going to move to 6.4, report by San Bernardino School Police Officers Association. Okay.
No report.
6.5, report by San Bernardino School Managers. None.
No report.
6.6, comments by school board members. Any lights on? Mr. Scott White? It's okay.
I'll try to be brief. Actually, I just wanted to thank the invitation from the district and executive cabinet and administration for being able to attend the management team summer conference, which I believe is also put on by the San Bernardino School District managers. And one, what a beautiful venue, but two, just the staff development, again, that is invested into our staff, the professional development. You know, it's second to none from what I've seen in my experience as an educator and administrator. And I know Dr. Marsden says this, and I do often, is that, you know, I believe it all begins and ends with leadership. You know, we need to be the ones in front leading our organization and taking responsibility for celebrations and also, you know, failures and things that need to be fixed. And I can just say it was amazing being a part of that and seeing the activities that were happening in regards to team building. Supporting our new administrators and getting them to be a part of this dynamic team. And again, just the presentations that were being given at the conference. Again, another compliment to Rose Bowman-Tree for doing a great job presenting at the Wellness Conference as well, which is put on by SBCSS and DBH. It's a rather large event, and they represented our district phenomenally, as they normally do. But you know, they had a raffle there, so I'm going to challenge my colleagues here on the board that, they were giving out baskets for raffles. And all the money, just so you know, goes back to scholarships for our kids.
Oh, that's wonderful.
So I think it would be really nice if we have a basket or two next year that we could award to some wonderful recipient, but at the same time, generate money for student scholarships. So I thought that was a really nice touch to the end there. And I will say I did get a little golf basket, so it was kind of nice.
Oh, nice.
I did give part of it away already, just so you know, but it was kind of fun. But I think we could do our part to show the support for our staff, not just for our administrators, but also other events, and I know we do that. But
That's wonderful.
Again, great job for administration and them putting together fantastic conference and some very valuable information and professional development. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Wyatt. Ms. Rogers?
Thank you, Ms. Medina. I don't think Scott mentioned it, but we were in the wellness conference at the same time. And unfortunately, I didn't get a chance to get over there and visit with you all, but I did hear that it was good. I was a little jealous. I saw a new blue T-shirt. Dr. Marsden, I saw that.
Oh, did you see mine?
I saw you in yours, and I said, blue, orange, maybe I can get one of those blue ones, so just a hint. But we did have a great time down at the Wellness Conference. A lot of the communication was surrounding PBIS, and I know we had folks there, so that was good to see some of our staff there engaging, because I know over the last few years they were saying San Bernardino didn't have much of a presence, but now we know there were like simultaneous conferences going on at the same time. So that makes it a little bit difficult, but they are moving the date, they said, next year to try to accommodate some of that. So that's great. I also want to say to the board and to parents as well, how important it is. Sometimes we think the small things are not a big deal, but it is. I was at an event and I had my Making Hope Happen pin on, and I had an individual walk up to me and said, I would love to have one of those pins. And I took the pin off and gave it to them, and you would have thought it was $1 million. And so just to let you all know, those things do matter, to people. And I was grateful that I was able to brighten her day. And then last but not least, I would like to invite you all to this Saturday is the Walk for Human Trafficking, a work that I've been involved in for quite some time, as well as some of our district individuals are involved, and our district actually is playing a part because we're giving up Jones Elementary parking lot and areas. So that's going to be very impactful this Saturday. A number of community leaders are going to be speaking. I'll be speaking as well on behalf of the district. But what's good about it is the attention is there, and we're making some headway around this terrible, terrible situation that's taken place with our youth. And so we want to shed light on it, and I appreciate the district, definitely opening up the doors so that we can have this event on Saturday. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Rogers. I'll be brief as well. First of all, I wanted to, I'm really excited that the schools are almost coming back, next month, basically. I mean, for the teachers, it might not be so exciting, and for the staff, but for us parents who have our children, I think even the students themselves, in reality, our students, although we have so many, there's some great activities. There's summer programs that we have in the district and through other organizations like the Boys and Girls Club. But I know that students actually want to go back to school and start learning again and doing different activities. So I'm just really excited about that. It's coming up soon, and I really look forward to the next school year, how amazing things that we're going to continue to do. So just wanted to keep that in your mind. Okay, and then Dr. Marsden.
Thank you, Ms. Medina. Appreciate it.
For 6.7?
Yes. So thank you, Ms. Medina. So the Summer Management Conference, as you heard, was mentioned last week. District managers and union leadership convened for the annual Summer Management Conference. This year, Dr. Ron Powell served as our keynote speaker to share the importance of understanding the role of trauma-informed care for students and self-care for staff, and the role of the school site staff in this process. And Dr. Powell, if you haven't heard him speak yet, board, we'd invite you to come August 1st when he'll speak to the next half of our certificated staff on August 1, so we welcome you to that. I also had the opportunity yesterday to help Chief Bergwan kick off the San Bernardino Police Department's Leadership Summit, where several of our students will participate in a week-long event that focuses on encouraging good decision-making, positive leadership, appreciation of tolerance and diversity, enhancing community law enforcement relationships, and encouraging community service and involvement. Matter of fact, I think one young man sitting in the back back. Am I right? Didn't you attended, right? Yeah, good to see you. All right, and so we're excited about that partnership and look forward to expanding it in the years to come, where we get our kids engaged in leadership development for a whole week. I think that's pretty powerful. They actually had a group come in from Google they trained people at Google in team building, and so they brought this group in to orient the kids to a team building experience that would be similar to what executives would experience for high power organizations. And then today I had the pleasure of serving on an equity forum panel at Redlands University, a superintendent's panel with several local superintendents, Dr. Judy White, of course, from Riverside County Office of Ed, Dr. Michael Lynn from Corona Norco, Dr. Martin Rex Kidziora from Moreno Valley, Dr. Robert Taylor from Walnut Valley, Diane Perez from San Jacinto, and a few others to discuss equity toward excellence in K-12. A number of our own team members, including our staff from our Equity Targeted Student Achievement Department, were also present, so it was a fantastic opportunity. And then just a reminder to you, on Monday, July 31, mark your calendar. Monday, July 31 is our employee gathering for excellence. This will be our 6th annual gathering. Opportunity to host district staff at varying support levels, including teachers, principals, custodians, office staff, and cafeteria workers to gather in a single place to hear about the previous year's accomplishments and the new year's focus. So please do come. We look forward to seeing you there. This year we'll have a special presentation with students. We'll be actually delivering most of our keynote address along with my keynote address this year, so come and hear them. And then last week, we received word that Bob Holcomb Elementary received official notification that the International Baccalaureate Early Years Program has been approved for their site. This is a big deal. It's a rigorous 2-year application and approval process. SBCUSD now has a K-12 IB track for students that includes Holcomb Elementary, Chavez Middle, and Arroyo and Cajon High Schools. So the Holcomb staff is trained and is ready to launch the program at the start of this school year. Congratulations to their team and principal, Luis Chavez. I remember him, I think Mr. Gallo, you and I made a trip to the school the day after a board meeting where we changed the name of the school and walked into the staff, and this was one of their non-negotiables. They wanted to become an international baccalaureate school, and so they have achieved that distinctive position.
Well, we clearly need to go back there and congratulate them.
Yeah, we sure do. So that's fantastic, and we'll make arrangements to do that. And then also we have some recent grant awards that I'll ask Ms. Ontiveros to mention to you. These are to our district.
Yes, thank you, Dr. Marsden. I also just wanted to mention that the Holcomb Elementary IB project was an innovation grant project as well. So your leadership in providing that support to them through that project also helped them get there. So we did receive word this week that we were awarded 2 separate grants for the district. The first one was from the United States Department of Education through their Project SERVE program, or School Emergency Response to Violence. Essentially, they're providing us with nearly $70,000 to reimburse our initial response efforts to the North Park incident, primarily providing substitute teachers and staff at the school site, as well as counseling in order to help restore instruction at the school. And then we also received a grant from the Kaiser Foundation for $30,000 to help our foster and homeless program serve especially our unaccompanied youth, and then homeless families with some basic needs support, as well as workshops to help them overcome some obstacles and return to independent living. So.
Thank you, Ms. Ontiveros. And Board, I know in my absence last time you'd had a brief discussion around our national lobbyist in D.C., and just want to make you aware that I've since talked with Mr. Davenport, who is our lobbyist there, and we will be working on a collaborative plan. So we'll have actually re-engaged Mr. Davenport in the process in D.C., as well as our 2 local California-based lobbyists in a team approach as we continue the efforts to apply for these federal grant opportunities and get engaged at the national and local level. Mr. Davenport is renegotiating his contract currently, so his pricing will be more in line with the other groups as well. So I just wanted to mention that to you. It'll be a topic of conversation on the next agenda. Thank you. Those are my comments.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Marsden. We're going to go ahead and go to 7.0, consent calendar item.
Move to approve.
Any room for discussion? Okay, let's go ahead and vote. Okay, 7.1, approval of minutes. Do I have a motion?
Mine was a yes. The light's not working now.
Oh, wait. Okay.
I think they switched my wire with Abigail's.
I'm sorry, what?
So why don't we do just a verbal real quick?
Why?
Well, you know what, let's go ahead. I'm glad it didn't work so well because I just realized I have 2 items that I have to
Yeah, that'll be
abstain
in.
from.
Okay.
So I'm glad it didn't work, so
Okay.
hold on.
Pull.
7.38 and 7.39.
All right. So we have those 2 items
Okay.
noted. And you have a motion and a second on the floor. Do you want to take action to approve the remainder of
So
the
let's go ahead,
consent calendar?
Approve.
I vote aye.
Aye.
So we'll do a verbal. So we have Mr.
Yanni.
Tillman.
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, so
We have an aye
unanimous.
from all more members present.
Okay.
Thank you. And then you.
And we'll take 38 and 39.
38 to 39, they're both where I'm going to
You
abstain.
abstaining, right? So I'll take them
Abstaining.
for you.
Okay.
All right.
38 and 39. On 38, so moved.
Second.
Vote, please. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed?
Okay, so noted aye on all and abstention from Medina and no opposed.
Okay.
On 39, motion to approve, 7.39.
A second. Yep.
Any discussion? Vote, please. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstain?
Aye. Myself, I abstain.
One abstention.
Okay, so let the record reflect a motion by Danny Tillman, second by Scott Wyatt, vote with abstention only by Abigail Medina.
Okay, now moving towards 7.1. Thank you, Mr. Tillman. 8.1, I apologize. Moving forward, 8.1, Personnel Report Number 2, dated July 18, 2017.
As presented, Mrs. Medina.
Motion to approve.
Okay, any discussion? Let's go ahead and vote.
You can try. It's reset. It seems to be working, board, so please go
there you
and
go.
use your button.
Mr. Tillman?
Mine says I approve.
Okay, so it's unanimous. 8.2, Family Engagement Strategic Plan.
I'll move with the modifications recommended.
Is there a second? Second. Okay, any discussion? Let's go ahead and vote.
I vote aye.
Okay, so we have unanimous support on that one. 8.3, Top 10. Do I have
So
a
moved.
motion?
So moved.
Second.
Okay, any discussion? Okay, let's go ahead and vote.
I vote aye.
Okay, unanimous.
Those electrons just can't seem to get up there next to Danny Tillman's name. I
Yeah.
don't know what that is.
8.4, Board Follow-Up. Do I have a motion?
Move
So
to
moved.
approve.
Okay,
Second.
is there a discussion? Any discussion?
Aye.
Okay, let's go ahead and vote.
I was wondering what Mr. Gallo was doing with his screwdriver earlier.
Okay. 8.5, Future Agenda Items. Do I have a motion?
So move.
Any discussion? Okay, let's go ahead and vote.
Aye.
Aye, we got unanimous support on that one. Now we're going to move to a 9.0, Closed Session.
And there are no items for closed session this evening, board.
Wow.
does that mean?
So that means you can motion for adjournment of the meeting.
So we're
Move to
gonna-
adjourn.
Second.
Okay, so the meeting is now adjourned. Thank you so much for everyone for joining us.